Well, welcome, fellow YouTubers, to another installment of Big Bill's Catastrophes. Today we are in the underbelly of the layout, otherwise known as the wiring. And as you can tell, there's a lot of spaghetti monsters down here. And it's just not used for storage. I know. You'll also notice, as we pan around ever so slowly with my steady recovering alcoholic hand, that we have a rope light that goes all the way around the circumference. Is that correct? I don't even know if that's correct, but anyway. And I want to thank DJ's Trains for that idea. That was my aha moment. He said it on his video, put it under there. You'll always have light instead of fishing for light and putting light under there. And that's what I did. And that works out great. It gives me enough light to see what I need to do and to work. And I recently, that right there is for the flashing neon signs, and I took the batteries out. So that's what that is. Up here is, this is really, I got to get a camera. Model Man Mike is absolutely correct. If you're going to do this correctly, you got to do it correctly. Anyway, as you can see, the wiring is all spaghetti. So now, before everybody starts getting on the bandwagon and saying, you got to tighten that up, you got to look at those wires, they're all over the freaking place. You got to cut me some slack here, okay? This was tried and true. I am not an electrician. I am not a bona fide licensed electrician. I have a very rudimentary, that's a big word, I know. The only big word I know is delicatessen, but that's the second word I know. Anyway, that's I only have a rudimentary entry level in electronics or electricity. And that's basically putting the plug in the wall and turning the light on. And that's another thing. I never see electricity. And I always tell Con Edison, why should I pay it if I don't see it? But they keep turning the lights off. I don't understand that. Anyway, back to this wiring. Yes, I know it's all over the place. I know it's a spaghetti monster here. But you know what? It works for me. And for you guys who are attempting a new layout, do not, I repeat, do not be intimidated by this. It's very simple. Very, 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 very simple. It's a bus line that leads all the way around, two of them. If I can get a shot of it, I used red and white. If you're colorblind, red and green actually, I used right there. You can see them, the red and the green, right there, the red and the green. If you're colorblind, you're shit out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, you use two different colors. Why? Because when you drop your feeders down from above, you have to have the same color. If you're going from red to red, green to green. Very, very simple. Do not be intimidated. Go for it. Nothing ventured is nothing gained. And if you get stuck, you know what? You overcome and you adapt. All right? If you don't know, look it up. You know, we used to do it the old-fashioned way. We used to go to the library. Now you go to the computer. All right? Ask somebody. Okay? That's my Brooklynese coming out. Ask. Axe. Use guys are killing me. Another thing I want to point out. You see these? See these little bad boys right here? Those are called suitcase connectors, but they're not really suitcase connectors. That's just what we terminology use. There's an official name for it. What it is, I do not know. But they're a lifesaver. You get them in Lowe's, Home Depot, any big box store, hardware store, they have them. It inserts on the wire. It inserts right on the wire, and then you just put the wire you want to attach. You just slide it into the hole and clamp it down. Now you can use channel locks for that because they have a tool that they want to sell you for $65. Okay, there's a bridge. If you buy that, there's a bridge here in Brooklyn that I'm looking to unload. It's been in my backyard forever. I have nothing. I have no use for it. So if you buy that tool, give me a look. Send me an email. I have this bridge downtown Brooklyn that I want to give you. Okay? Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, suitcase connectors. That is the best thing since that's the best invention since sliced bread. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And this rope light, I got to give it out to DJ Trains. That was brilliant, my man. That was brilliant. When I put that up, that was my aha moment. That was my aha. As you can see, I got my little tortoise switch machine up there, and I have it wired and all the way around. I'm going to clean this up. Trust me, I'm going to clean it up. I made a few mistakes, but I need to get it together. But I am. But I'm just, what I wanted to point out here is, even though it looks sloppy, it works. And you can always come back and fix things. You know, like this. See this clump of mess? It's not really a mess. It works for me. It goes into my panel and it works. Am I going to clean it up? Yes, eventually. But for guys that are coming into this hobby and they say, oh, the electric, I'm not, listen, I didn't know nothing. I know shit from Shinola. And it sucks for the people who live in Shinola. Trust me. But I didn't know. And you just learn by doing. And when you don't know, you ask. There I go again. Asked. And you find out. So don't be intimidated by it. Seriously, do not be intimidated by the fact that you may not have a skill set that is readily available to you. You will learn it. That's the beauty of this hobby, is that you can learn. Every day is a learning experience. Trust me when I tell you, when I get into a jam, I come upstairs and I got my head down low. My wife says, what's the matter? I said, I got this problem with the electrical. The switch won't work. She says, you'll do it. You'll figure it out. And you know what? She's right. She's got more faith in me than I have in myself. And that's big. That's big. But if you're not fortunate to have somebody like that in your life, persevere. I'll be that somebody in your life if you need to be. All right? I'll be there for you. Okay? But I just wanted to point out, even though it's a spaghetti mess and it looks, I know I'm panning over the same things and it's going back and forth. I'm just trying to make a point here. But with that said, you know, it's something you should get into, and don't be intimidated by it. As you can see, it's a straightforward layout as far as it's 16 inches on center for the cross beams here, all right? And it's a basic frame layout. You know, the trusses here, you know, for stabilizing, as you can see. See, that's a lot of things you don't see in these model railroads. You know, you see these elaborate layouts, but sometimes we don't all have the ability to do elaborate layouts. Not yet, anyway. And so this is where we're at. This is a cross beams to give it stability. As you can see, I can move it. It won't move. And I use it for storage. And I'm going to put a black curtain around it eventually and hide all the storage area and then clean up this wiring. But it's 16 inches. Here's another important issue. When you buy your lumber, let it sit in your basement for a day or two because you want it to get acclimated and dried out. Because sometimes in the box stores they don't, they're not really dried out. So with that said, all I want to leave you with is, excuse me, all I want to leave you with today is that this can be done. It looks nasty, it looks sloppy, but it gets the job done. It's basic, simple thing. A bus line all the way around. When they say a bus line, it's just two wires that go all the way around the perimeter of the outside of your layout. And from there, you go upstairs and you drop feeder lines down to the corresponding colored bus lines. And then you could add in accessories. I have 2 white wires that I use for the accessories. And that's what I'm going to do eventually, is clean up all this other stuff here. And I have my electrical outlets right there because I share the basement here with the tenant upstairs, and she and her husband are so gracious and so understanding. I'm blessed to have them in the house. But anyway, again, I can't emphasize enough how you guys should just relax, take it easy, and enjoy the hobby. Sometimes we don't. We get caught up in the things that we think we can't do when the things we know we can do. All right? That's it for now from under the belly of the beast. This is Big Bill Graham saying, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Oh, and for the tip of the day, here's my tip of the day. If you're the smartest person in the room, You're in the wrong room. Talk to you later.